Ezekiel 28:17. Thy heart, thine heart was lifted up because of thine beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, and it shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of all of them that behold thee. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Shai Bahasham Rakar. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is a dark one, because what you have to understand is that the biggest economy in America is California. And California is falling. This is San Francisco's financial district falling. And this, in my late teens, early 20s, this was one of my favorite places to be. All right, when I first left home. And this was a thriving city. And as a matter of fact, San Francisco, it's like it's not even in California. It's like San Francisco is kind of like a small New York, Chicago balled up in one. It was. With the with the twist of a little sprinkle of California, because this place they called it the city, all right, because they didn't really refer to the rest of California as the city, not even Los Angeles, all right. In the Bay Area, this was called the city because it was like when you went to San Francisco, you went to a different place, all right, and it was thriving. And it was so expensive, and it took so much money to live there, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and now it's nothing. And what is California also? They used to call San Francisco the land of fruits and nuts. That's what, a couple of Christian guys I used to work with used to call it. All right? The land of fruits and nuts. That's what he called San Francisco. He hated it. This one guy, Jim, when I worked for Legs Pantyhose. I used to work for I was the legs man. When I worked for Legs, often, Jim and I would be put together, and that's what he would call San Francisco, and he hated it when we would have to go there. But flip side of that is that it was an exciting nightlife for a young man, and if you were a straight male, in California in the 80s and the 90s, man, it was going on for you. All right. But the water Yahweh that he woke me up from that mess anyway. But nevertheless, I'm going to play some of this video, about 4 or 5 minutes of it, just so you can see how dire a situation that San Francisco and California has become. And this is all the Lord. And remember, what happens in California trickles across the country. America cannot survive without California. And now I'm pretty sure that Yellow Trucking Company is based out of California, and they're in the midst of laying off 30,000 people across the nation. But I'm pretty sure they're based out of California. But here we go.
Have you ever heard of At the Steps of City Hall? They took that to heart in San Francisco. We're walking down Market
Homeless
Street
people at the steps of City Hall.
We're going to walk from Civic Center to Powell Street. That's where we're going to turn around at the cable car turnaround. So let's see if any stores remain open. That used to be a hotel. And that in the corner used to be a bank. I think it was used to be a Chase Bank. This year is another closure. It's got a for lease sign. Right here in the corner. This used to be a...
And you see a lot of homeless Edomites. And see, we don't see that we see them in Chicago too. But in California, you're seeing Ammon, Moab, Elam, you seeing a lot of homeless, because you used to just seeing Jake homeless, and then some white trash trailer type, trailer home type white folks homeless. But out in California, just people out here who had homes and Mercedes Benzes parked in their driving ways that are now on the streets homeless.
Burger King closed. Let's see if we can check out the front. Yeah. Burger King. Have it your way. Yeah, that in the corner used to be a Chase Bank. And that's the Whole Foods market that recently closed. As you can see, has available now retail space sign. There's another sign right up there. It says for lease. It's one of those cases of retail cannibalism. Smart business. That used to be the main entrance for the Whole Foods.
Did you know that you could get $50 to over $150,000 of investment capital at
I hate that shit. Fucking commercials.
Have you ever heard of at the steps of City Hall? They took that to heart in San Francisco.
So what you're looking at is not a crowd of workers on their lunch break or anything. Literally what you're looking at is a crowd of homeless people. All right. And like you said, they literally took it, it became so. This is Ezekiel 28 and 5. And it reads, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic, thou hast increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. All right. So what you have to understand is that you cannot build a nation off debt, and you cannot build a nation off a commerce alone, of where you, and what I mean, the commerce of not even the commerce of you selling things, but a commerce of you purchasing everything. See, America, through its lack of wisdom and the wicked that was ruling over it, they became a consumer-based nation. You can't get rich off of consuming. You have to make and create things, sell and trade things. And then all the huge companies left and took their businesses everywhere else to foreign countries, so that they wouldn't have to pay, taxes and pay money to, salaries to spoiled Americans. But that recipe is a recipe of failure. And the main reason is that they follow not the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. The Bible gives you, the rules on how to rule over and control a society, how to have a prosperous society. And this is not what they did. Isaiah 8:20 said, if these people, let me just get it instead of messing it up. Let me just grab it real quick. All right. And it reads, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. There's no truth, no understanding in them. The Holy Spirit dwells not with them, because the Bible gives you, the perfect plan on how to rule over and control a society, and with a perfect welfare system. And now you just got a bunch of vagrants and homelessness and people just hanging out every day doing drugs and, raping and robbing each other, getting knocked over the head. The people who do come into the city to work don't even want to come anymore, because you got armies of homeless people walking around all shiesty, that jacking them, robbing them.
They're getting chased off right now.
And see, you still got some people wearing masks. Problem is, you got shiesty characters wearing masks, and I called that out the gate. when they made it legal for you. Now I was like, you kidding me? You're gonna allow people to walk into banks and stores with gloves on and with masks on. What the hell you think eventually is going to happen? All right? You got everybody wearing gloves and masks. And there's no jobs and no hope. Let me fast forward a
This
little
is
bit.
Civic Center. Nothing civic about this center.
Damn.
All of this here is vacant. This right here is also vacant. This used to be a fast food place.
And downtown Chicago is looking the same in a lot of places. And what they do is that you see those advertisements in the windows. They put those advertisements in the windows to try to make everything colorful. But, so it just doesn't look empty. But it's hard to miss it these days. The commerce is dying. All right? Let's go to here.
People at this donut shop. It's all blacked out.
He said they used to be lined up at that donut shop.
Donut shop.
Hold on, let me go back a little more.
Yeah, there were lines of people at this donut shop. It's all blacked out. Here are some more closures. That one there is closed. Oh, Zombieland tours. Let's hop on the bus.
The tour bus looks kind of empty.
Whatever you do, don't get off the bus.
He said, whatever you do, don't get off. Damn. Let's see.
And look open. See those barricades in front of it?
Damn. A bank with barricades.
See, everything's closed. This block, the entire block, everything's closed.
Oh, let's grab some more scriptures, man. This is and that thing with yellow is gonna drive prices up ridiculously. I had a guy, I put up a post and the guy came on and he said something that, sounded a little off to me. I mean, he wasn't disrespectful with it, but I'm like, but damn. And then, after going back and forth with him, all he did was repeat what I already said. And I'm like, Jake just be doing too much, man. It's like, because the end result, he's trying to explain how the other company's going to pick up the, and independent operators are going to pick up. And I'm like, nah, no, because independent operators aren't going to be able to afford to operate like that. The cost is just too much. And then the cost of the goods and services are going to stop people from, it's just going to shut more businesses down with more streets, empty streets like this. So it's like, why did you even have to say anything except Khan? Because at the end of the day, he ended up saying exactly what I said. It's going to drive the cost of freight up to where people are not going to be able to pay for it. So, but anyway, this is Ecclesiastes 12. And I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, and in that day, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So, meaning they're looking at it as if they don't see a future, any hope. That's why so many businesses are going to continue to shut down. And it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. All right. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So, the voice of the bird, that electric rooster, man, or the actual birds start singing. And then it's kind of weird because birds sing all night now. It's like they don't even go to sleep. The earth is completely out of course. All right. But normally, birds will start singing at the crack of dawn, just before the sun comes up. right? And people get up, and now they get up and they get on the internet. In times past, they actually hit the pavement and walk from store to store, from business to business, looking for work, or looking in the paper at the ads, trying to find work. And now there is no work. And they keep telling people they got to get up and do something, or get a job, you lazy bum. There, a lot of these people, there is no jobs. The jobs are shrinking less and less. You get no brothers. Hey, you got to get out and get a hustle. The hustles are disappearing. They are, and then a lot of people just frustrated, and then that's why they're setting up this system, this whole digital system, and they're doing this on purpose to make you dependent upon the system. That's why this is all collapsing, because they want to get that UBI going, which I believe they're starting in Britain, if I'm not mistaken. And they want to get that UBI to everyone. And the one thing that everyone's going to have to do is going to have to be a part of this digital thing is take that that they're spoken about in the Charagma, they're spoken about in Revelation, the 13th chapter. And there's going to be a very harsh standards. I just saw an image of how they're shaming people in China who what does it say? It says video China shames citizens on social critic blacklist by publicly displaying their faces, IDs across billboards. Let me bring that into, all right. So that social credit score, the footage out of China shows giant billboards displaying the private information of citizens who have been blacklisted in the communist government social credit score system. And this whole thing between look what democracy and capitalism has gotten you. And look at the unfairness that happens to its people. So who are they to talk about communists? And here's the thing with this whole, it's just like when you're looking at Democratic and Republican. They're the same, they're two same wings on the same hateful bird. The same thing with communists and democracy and capitalism. They're the two same wings on the same hateful bird, because the bankers fund and control both sides. You see? So it's all interconnected. It's all bullshit. It's all wicked, and it's all ungodly, because they follow not the light. There's no light in them. There's no truth in them. All right? Let me go to this next video. Oh, let me finish this in what I was reading first. I had one more scripture to read. Right. Verse 5, Ecclesiastes 12:5. Also, they shall be afraid of that which is high, and the fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. And people are on the street mourning, and people are on the street dangerously. Let's see what's going on in Santa Monica, one of the most upscale places in America.
Santa Monica is interesting. When it was developed beautiful neighborhoods all over. You've got the Wilshire, Montana area. You have the Sunset Park area, the Ocean Park area.
Can you tell us, what is it like?
Now the residents are seeing it for themselves. Homeless in the alleys. They're seeing dumpster fires, individuals defecating, shooting up heroin, crystal meth. Our city workers are being attacked, stabbed. Safety is an issue.
Wow, safety is an issue. And this is Santa Monica. All right, that was California suburbia. Little rich silver spoon kid hanging out at the beach all day, living off his his fund that was left from the ungodly gains that he got through his parents, through his family, through his bloodline. What's that TV show that's so popular with Kevin Costner? Sitting on this land and all this wealth, and all these unjust things being done, and wealth being made, horses and ranches, and all this land that was stolen and taken from another people. And see, now it's, so now it's all falling back. It's coming. Babylon is falling. Yellow Freight into bankruptcy. Look at this. Yellow Freight begins layoff in Kansas City before bankruptcy. Report, trucking companies Yellow Corp stop operations, prepare for bankruptcy. Yellow Truck shut down operations amid debt woes. And that's just, this is going to happen, continue. And guess what? It costs a lot of money to operate. All right. And like I said, the cost of freight is going to go up to the point where independent operators will not be able to afford to operate. All right. Collectively. And the system eventually is going to fail. Trucks are going to be used to come and maraud. Gonna have to come and take other people's shit. That's what trucks are gonna be used for. It's barricades and weapon. They're gonna be used as weapons of destruction. When it turns into what's the movie Road Warrior out here. All right, let's go to Isaiah. Hit Isaiah, and then hit Revelation 14 about Babylon. This is Isaiah 21 and 9. All right. And it reads, and behold, here cometh the chariot of man with a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he have broken unto the ground. So all this witchcraft and all this wickedness that goes on. As a matter of fact, there's an animated adult show on Netflix. I watched the first episode. I'm gonna have to go ahead and watch it, called Captain Fall. And and Esau is just telling on themselves, right? They completely telling themselves yet again. And all this wickedness and that they do, the murder, rape, robbery, the trafficking, selling of drugs, selling of flesh, selling of body parts, selling of sex, of children, women and men against their will, trafficking them all over the world. That's still going on. All right. There was even a joke about how this captain got arrested, and he had nothing to do with it. He was just a front man. Didn't even know he was a front man. And then they bragged about how he committed suicide. The cameras were on, and showed him smile and get up and walk, and saw a shadow of someone walk toward him. Then the cameras went out. Next thing you know, he was hanging. All right. And then the message went out to all the law enforcement that he had died Jeffrey Epstein style. So they're showing you that, you got dark forces, in Babylon that are doing horrific and terrible things within your government, within your leadership. And now, they're being exposed. All this witchcraft that they do and all these graven images is all being brought down, literally right before your eyes. And you still got people who want to scoff. All right. This is Revelation 14 and 2. And is that what I wanted? Well, you know what? Wasn't actually what I wanted, but the Lord made it work out. That's going to work. It says, and I looked, I'm going to start at verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. All right. So that's the new government that the Lord is going to set up. All right. Well, Yahushua and the 144,000 will be the new government over all mountains and all hills. All right. And it reads, and I heard a voice from heaven as a voice of many waters, as a voice of the great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And what? They're singing that song that I'm singing right now, that the men of the Lord are out on the highways and byways singing, on a weekly basis. All right. And they sang it, and it says, and they sang as if it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn the song but the 144,000 which were redeemed here on earth. All right? Because why? Because Babylon has fallen, and we're chanting down Babylon with the word of the Lord and warning people that that's what's about to happen. All right? And the Lord is going to set up his new government. And the head of that is going to be King Yahushai, King David, and the rest of the 12. Peter is King David, if you understand the scriptures. And then the rest of the 144,000, the 12,000 men from the each tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. Revelation, the 7th chapter. All right? That's what's about to happen. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Bakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.